So I'm so excited to be able to do this live on Zoom because I have slides. This is about starting your year in power. And I personally have taken so many courses, over the last several years um, on how to start your year strong and all this planning. And I've really reduced it down to what I know to be true. Okay. So what I know to be true is that we need a destination. We need an intention for the year. And the best way to do intentions is not strangely goals. It's actually words and feelings or words that are feelings to be able to anchor and see every day how you want to show up and what you want to contribute. So goals like losing 15 pounds and all that stuff is great. And I applaud you for that. And God knows I want that too. But I'd rather be, what's the energy behind that? What is the end goal, like healthy or realized or joyful, abundant, words like that. So how do we do that? And also, how do we go deeper on some really fundamental things in our Crazy Busy Women in Balance group and in our 10-week program, where we individually coach women and group coach women to go through a transformational process. We really cultivate joy. We really live in intention. We are responsible for the energy we bring into a room. We are literally going after everything we want. And what I want for you is to be able to get a glimpse into that. We can't do it all because obviously it's a 10-week program, but how do we jumpstart Launchpad this year? How do we do that? So I have just reduced down all the things that I've learned about how to set an intention in the year, what a word of the year looks like, what that process looks like to really look back at the last part of the year in a really powerful way that doesn't take much time and anchor some things, and then go into the new year by anchoring some things and then making a choice and claiming things. So in the end of this process, what we're going to do is we're going to claim a word or words we're leaving behind that we don't want in our life anymore, and then claim a word or words that we want to own and embody this new year. So I'm going to screen share. Very exciting. And ultimately, I will put this document into the Crazy Busy Women in Balance group so that you guys can download it. It's a PowerPoint document, so you can actually type in and do your own thing. So this is so on the left-hand side, we have best moments and what is not working, which is really looking back at 2021. And then on the right side, we have grateful list and how do you want to feel for the new year, which is starting to zone in. And this is the process to zone in on really how to really come up with meaningful, emotionally charged words that are going to motivate you and be juicy enough to guide your whole year. So first, one of the things that in any of these year in review or Launchpad kind of programs for the new year, and like I said, I've taken 3 or 4, there is always something about celebration. It's a really important process. We start every one of our client calls with celebrations. What have you done right? Because specifically for Crazy Busy Women, we tend to focus on what we haven't done. And we tend to, in life, focus on the struggle instead of the achievements. The achievements go when we are focused on our next achievement, but we're more present in our struggle, more present in our criticism of ourselves. So how do you quickly go through the best moments or peak experiences, one of the programs I took, or memories, the best of the last year? Well, I found that I forgot a lot of things. And so the quickest way for me to do this, and I do it every year, and it's super fun too. And honestly, last year I made a photo book because I remembered all these moments. But go in your phone and go start January 1, 2021. And I know it's been a crazy couple years, but go January 1, 2021, and just start looking through your photos. And have pen and paper out and start writing down those moments that bring a smile to your face. These things, because the thing is, we typically want to record those moments we're happy. and remember some things, a beautiful sunset, a smile on somebody's face, a happy moment with a friend or something. We tend to take a picture in that moment. So the quickest way to try to remember those best moments, best experiences in our life last year is go through your phone. So go through your phone and then stop every time you hit one that just makes your heart go flitter flatter, or it brings a smile to your face. It doesn't have to be a big moment. I think sometimes when people put the word best or top 5, everyone's looking for these epic things like graduation or a trip or this or that. But the truth is, our life is made up in these little moments, these little memories. Those are what makes a life. The big stuff, yeah, that's great. And they become these really awesome memories. But our life is made up of small little moments, a dinner with a friend or a funny conversation or a beautiful view or things like that. So that's why the phone is so important. And if you're not a person who takes a lot of pictures on your phone, go through your calendar. What did you write in your calendar or type into your calendar? What are those moments? Go back in your year and just literally reflect on January. Go through your calendar or your phone. What happened in January? What happened in February? And start to write down those moments that bring a smile to your face or bring you some emotion. And start to record them. And this is going to be a fun exercise that will help you start to define these beautiful moments in your life. I am not limiting you to how many you write down. It could be 3 because you want to be really poignant. It could be 103. I don't care. I want you to write them down, and I want you to cultivate that happiness, because it will make you happy to reflect on this stuff. And then the next thing I want you to do is find the through line. So when you look at all of these things, and I want you to do this weekend, because we're going to go deeper on each of these buckets on this page each week this month. So we're not going to be done. I haven't finished this, by the way. My birthday is at the end of the year. And then we have the end of the year. And so I'm in a very reflective mode, and I'm not ready to plan yet. I'm just in recharge mode at the end of the year. So what I want for you is to spend this next week, or even 2, even this whole month, really kind of laying the groundwork for the rest of the year. There's no deadline here except doing the work, right? So I want you to write down all these amazing moments. And then I want you to find the through line. What were you doing? What's the through line? What's the common trait of all of these photos? So an example for me would be, I tend to take pictures of funny things, right? Things that make me laugh. I take a screenshot of a meme or something like that just makes me laugh, that I share with my friends. Or a picture when we're traveling, right? Even in the weird year we've had where we're limited to big trips and things like that, we've taken weekends away, and there's a moment or a sunset or a sky or laughter or whatever. And then there's also just adventures or relaxation or moments like, for me, I'm a big baseball fan, and going to baseball games, right? So when I look at the commonality, the through line of all of those things, usually it's with people I love. So community, right? Travel and adventure, experience being outdoors, experiencing something with people. But then there's also the quiet reflection time. I tend to take a lot of pictures on walks or with coffee, looking at a beautiful view. So there's also a reflection time. So I'm starting to kind of figure out what are the elements and deconstruct what are the elements of these moments that bring me joy in my life. It's a really important exercise to understand what brings you joy and what makes you happy. When we ask the women we work with, what makes you happy, and you can't say anybody in your life, you can't say your children, your husband, your friends, your family, you got to pick something else. It is really hard for people because they put their joy in other people's hands. So I want you to start taking responsibility for your own joy and cultivating your joy. We're going to talk a lot more about that next week, but let's start with going through your photos or your calendar, writing down those moments, capturing them. It's extra fun if you want to, like I ended up putting a photo book together last year because it was super fun to put together some of these pictures, and then create the through line. What's the commonality of these moments that you're cherishing or remembering fondly? What's the common thread? Okay. Then the other thing that I want you to do on 2021, again, the left side is 2021. What isn't working? What didn't work? Did you have hopes and dreams at the beginning of the year? Did you have a word of the year that really didn't come true? Or something you really wanted to achieve that didn't, something that is lacking in your life? I want you to write 5 to 10. Let's not go crazy and get stuck in negativity. Let's be specific about important things that didn't happen. Maybe you really want to find somebody in your life and you didn't last year. Maybe your relationship isn't where you want it. Maybe you want to have more sex in your life. Maybe you want to have more me time in your life. Maybe you want to take radical responsibility over your health and you haven't. So what I want you to do is create a list, and you can journal a whole bunch of them, but I want you to narrow it down to no more than 10. I'd prefer 5, quite frankly. And then next to that, I want you to put the emotion it invokes in you: frustration, anxiety, sadness, shame, feeling bad about yourself, overwhelm, burdened. Put a word that has charge to it. That is, what is this not working thing causing in your life, making you feel, right? Because it's not enough to just say, I gained weight this year and I haven't been taking care of myself. How does that make me feel? Well, I feel shame about how I look, and I feel bad about myself. And every morning I wake up and I think about not, how much weight I've gained. And every time I look in the mirror, like, I want you to understand what it's doing to your emotional state. Okay. It's important. So that's how I want you to look at 2021. Everything else doesn't matter to me. I mean, again, you can do some of these deep dive programs and they'll really get you into things. And they'll create all these elaborate goals and stuff, but we're busy. I want shortcuts. And this is let's reduce it down to the things that work for me and work for other women. And I want you to do this. So first, the best moments, and create the through line. What do they have in common? Then what's not working in your life, and get honest with yourself. You're doing this for yourself. So let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not rationalize it. Let's be real, and let's be specific. And then what is it costing you? How is it making you feel? What is the energy or the weight of it on your life? Because I know the things that I struggle with in my life. God knows I still struggle with things. And I got to tell you, with COVID and all the journey that we've been through, my life has changed a lot. I used to be a lot more active and had a routine that I followed. And I've been having a hard time creating a routine I can keep. And I'm not the weight I want to be. So what is that doing to me? It's making me feel like a fraud in a way, because I'm not in integrity with myself. I make promises and I don't keep them to myself and my health. And I don't understand why. And I'm really working on that. I'm human. I'm right there with you struggling. And I use my tools to get out of these situations. And that is the beauty of our program and this group, is that there are no quick fixes to this, but there are tools. And life is going to hand you things. You're going to be constantly working on different things in your life. We're not perfect. We can never be perfect. And I want you to walk away from perfection. I am a recovering perfectionist. I work on it every day. But we have to understand that we can have tools to get out of it. I don't have a magic wand and go, ding, your life's going to be different. I use tools every day, and I teach those tools to women every day. And they use them every day. And that's how they live in this different space, out of crazy busy and into joyful success and abundance and joy and freedom and all those wonderful things, because they're using their tools. So the first tool is understanding what's not working, but it's also to understand what the cost of that is. Okay. How does it make you feel? How is it weighing on you in your life? And we're going to talk more about this as well in 2 weeks and really dive deep into that. And then on 2022, here's the fun part. So we get rid of we go to best moments. We really dive deep on what's not working and what it's costing us emotionally. And then let's focus on 2022, which is the right column. And I want you to write down 5 things you're grateful for in your life right now. Not tomorrow, not if this happens or that happens, or on a perfect hair day or whatever. I want you to just be grateful. And here's the trick. because I'm not going to make it easy on you, half of the list. So anywhere from 5 to 10. So half of the list. So 3.5, 2.5, or 5 have to be about you. So yes, you can put, my children, my job, whatever. You can do all of that, but then a trait about yours. So examples would be your ability, my ability to connect with people, my health, my giving nature, my eyes, my smile, whatever. I want you to be in gratitude for things about yourself that you're grateful for, that you have the ability to wake up every morning and your body moving the way you want. I want you to be grateful for yourself and what you bring to this world. And I want you to start getting specific about it, because so many crazy busy women do not exist in their own life. And we're out there in the world serving everybody else but ourselves. We're thinking about everybody else but ourselves. We're appreciating everybody else but ourselves. And that is going to stop. If you want to get out of crazy busy and into joyful success, you have to be the centerpiece of your life. You got to take care of yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. You got to know what you rock at and own your gifts and talents. And you got to go for things in a really high energy way. And that's what we teach. So it starts with getting clear about and finding, and this is going to stump you. It is a muscle you haven't used. It is going to stump you, and you must do it. If you do anything on this list, if you only did the gratitude list and half of it was traits for you, God, I'd be happy, because you will already feel the change. And we're going to talk about in 3 weeks, we're going to talk about how we activate that, right? How we put that grateful list to action every day. Okay. But you're going to write 5 to 10 things you're grateful for in your life right now. And I want to go deeper. So you're going to add half of those are going to be something about yourself. Okay. And so you're going to have to do that, and you're going to struggle. And I want you to struggle in this, because I want you to get out of your frigging comfort zone, because the way you're living right now is crazy busy. And I want you in joyful success. Okay. And then the last category is, how do you want to feel in the new year? So one of my mentors really helped me understand that goals are great, but when we set goals as high performing women, we tend to only focus on the day that we achieve that goal and none of the journey in between. And our life is the journey, not the goal destination, right? And so, there's a process, mastery versus goal-oriented. I'm trying to think of, but it's called mastery. And to be in the journey of your life and not just the achievement of the goal or the goal setting. So I want you can have goals. Absolutely. You can have goals this year. I think they're helpful. But I more importantly want you to have anchors of words and feelings. How do you want to feel this year? And if you have difficulty coming up with that, write down the goals that you have. And then how will it make you feel when you achieve that goal? Strong, energized, what? If it is about losing weight and being healthy, strong, invincible, energized, powerful, what does that make you feel like? In control, what is it? So I want you to think about aspirational, intentional words. Would be great if they have emotional charge to them that you want to feel this year. Okay, it could be 1, it could be 3, it could be 5. It shouldn't be more than 5. All right. So what I did, and you'll get this again in the group, is I put a blank sheet out there for you. I am sure you're going to need more space than this, but I wanted to give you shorthand. Then what you're going to do at the end is you're going to look at the left-hand side. So you're going to look at words you're leaving behind. Again, we're going to claim things here. So we're going to claim that we're leaving behind something this year that's not working for us. And the way you've come up with that is look in the not working section. What are you leaving behind? Now, this could be negative thoughts about myself, negative talk. It could come from the emotion that is causing something that didn't work, or it could be, I am, whatever. We want words 1 to 5 that we're leaving behind. Okay. So things you're leaving behind could be For me, comparison, something I work on every day. I'm going to stop comparing myself to others. Okay. I've made so much progress on this in my life, but it still happens, specifically in the category of motherhood. I've cleared it up in most other categories, but motherhood, damn it, it works. I do it all the time. And I'm not seeing the full picture of the other people, so it's not a fair game. I'm going to leave that behind this year. And I've got some others, but I'm not ready to share them yet because I'm marinating on it. Because I'm going to finish this up this weekend. So what's not working in your life is a great inspiration for this, but just think about things you're sick and tired of having to feel every day. Are you sick and tired of being tired? Are you sick and tired of feeling, I don't know, overwhelmed? What is it? What are you leaving behind? Okay. And then on the word of the year, some great inspiration for this is your best moments from last year. What are those through lines? Is it joy? Joy is always a word of the year for me. I usually pick 3, and joy is always there. It's something I work on every single day. And I know that sounds funny to work on bringing joy in my life, but I have found that most crazy busy women have conditional joy in their life. So they feel or allow themselves to feel joy when everything is working. And this beautiful moment where the stars are aligned and everybody's healthy and happy, then I can start to feel joy. Because joy and safety kind of come side by side with people. And when you are a crazy busy woman and you're beating yourself up all the time and have unrealistic expectations of perfection, joy is really hard to break through. It is really hard to break through joy. So I work on unconditional joy every day of my life, and I cultivate that. So joy will be one of my words. So look at your best moments and the words that the through line that came out of that. Maybe it's community, whatever. That could be something that you want to put on a word of the year, or what you're grateful for, that list of what you're grateful for, what came from that, or just really thinking about a word that just really embodies what you want the next year to be. So, in years past, one year I had metamorphosis because I wanted to just completely change my life, and I did. And metamorphosis felt like the right word. Another year, I think I put catapult or something like that, where I wanted to just really expand my horizon. Abundance was another year I put. Empowered, determined. I'm trying to think of some other clients and the words that they pick. Realized, I don't know. You think about it. It's important. And we're going to talk about how to make that actionable in your life, because just writing the words isn't going to be enough. We need them to live and breathe in our bodies every day in order for us to really be that guiding light for the year. So just to review here, people, I'm going to go back. The left-hand side is 2021. And we are going to go through our phone or our calendars and really kind of catalog our year and those moments that bring emotion and smiles to your face or your heart. And you're going to write down what they were, and you're going to think about what the through line of all of those are. What's the commonality in those moments that you can, kind of come to understand what brings you joy. And then you're going to write down 5 to 10 things that aren't working in your life, and bonus next to it, what it's costing you. What emotionally is it costing you? What emotionally is it costing you? What is the emotional cost is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Really, really important. Then we're going to go to the gratefulness, and I guarantee this is going to be the hardest one for you. And I'm so excited because I want to challenge you and get you out of your comfort zone right out of the gate in 2021. Write 5 to 10 things you're grateful for, and half of them have to be something about yourself, what you appreciate about yourself. You can do this, because in the lowest hanging fruit here, you're going to have to come up with 2.5. I'll accept 2. If you're doing 5, I'll accept 2, even though, that's not technically half. I'll accept 2. But I want you to go for 10 and do 5 traits you really appreciate about yourself. That you're good at, or you appreciate the impact it has, something you really like about yourself, your hair. It could be even that, okay? And then how do you want to feel in the new year? So taking all this work and saying, how do I want to feel? What words are really going to guide that? What feelings do I want to have? Not goals, feelings, words, okay? And then we're going to summarize that with words we're leaving behind and words we're claiming. We're going to claim all of this, but really like words that'll be your guiding light, that lighthouse in the distance all year long to really guide your year. So this is really important stuff because, I think what happens is, especially for me, because my birthday is at the end of the year, I go into this reflective mode and I so often don't remember the good stuff, right? So I found this phone trick to be so helpful to me. And just really, whenever I'm down on myself, if I look at my phone and I go back, because I tend to take pictures of things that either make me laugh or make me happy, right? I'm not taking pictures of things that depress me. It really reminds me of the extraordinary life that I have. And I think it's a trick you can use all year long, but this is a really great trick for planning. One thing that occurred to me at the end of this year in my reflective mode is I was exhausted. I was just physically tired. So much so I thought I had COVID. I didn't. And I think that I forgot all that we've been through, all that I've been through. Let me talk personally for me. The last 2 years have been really hard for all of us, but I'm talking about me right now because I want to be honest with you. The last 2 years have been hard. 2020 was very difficult on my business, on both businesses that I have, because the world changed. Everybody stopped for a while and everything was fine. And thank God, I could still help people, but it was different and it stressed me out. I kept going, but it was different. And to be in the house so much and to have my daughter be going to school, and worried about the impact that this was going to take on her. I was building a new relationship and in this kind of incubation period of never leaving the house. And then 2021, I had this hope and dream that things would be better in terms of, putting this pandemic behind us. And it was just one step forward, two steps back. It's gone. It's not gone. You can go out and play. Nope, you can't anymore. You got to wear a mask. No, you don't wear a mask. And I feel like we're still in that. And I really had to recover from 2020 and 2021 and, been growing a business and doing all these things. It took a toll on me. And what I found at the end of the year, and it was so odd because I don't really find myself in negative energy a lot because I've worked on it and I continue to work on it every day. But I was feeling a little negative at the end of last year. Just like, why? I was judging myself on how tired I was. Why am I so tired? I am like ridiculously tired. And when I knew I didn't have COVID, it was like I was almost shaming myself. Like, what do you have the right to be tired for? And then I realized immediately, because the great, wonderful thing about the work that we do and the work that we teach women is, yes, life still happens to us and we get slayed or we get triggered or we have a bad moment, but we don't stay there anymore. We catapult right out of it or trampoline out of it because we have the tools. So I used my tools and I was literally like, wow, this is really interesting. What is going on with me? Like, why am I, what is really going on? What is causing me to feel shame? I don't feel shame anymore. What is happening that I'm feeling so critical of myself? And then I went straight to recognizing all that I've gone through in the last several years. And I, by the way, went through my phone and all the stuff we all have had to rebuild and change and deal with, working solely in my office. I'm a people person. I like contact with people. Being my work 100% through Zoom. All the stuff, I honored myself. I honored myself through all the stuff that I started writing down, like almost, we talk about brag books with the clients we work on. And I started honoring myself for all the little and big achievements that I've survived and thrived through 2020 and 2021. And that list was long. It was hard at first, and then it just started flowing because I wasn't being critical or, oh, well, that's too small to put on the page. I was just in flow. And I was sitting there with coffee in this spot in my house where I can look out the front window, and it's a cute little street that I live on. And I was like, oh yeah, I did that too. Oh yeah, I did that too. Oh yeah, I did that too. And oh my God, yeah, I got through that. And oh my God, yeah. And I started to list out my daily little achievements, little inches forward in this extraordinarily difficult time we're all living in. And all of a sudden, I got into a state of gratitude and grace about, my goodness, I should be exhausted. It makes perfect sense that I'm exhausted. I have gone through a lot. And look at where I am. And look at what I've found. And look at, like, what is the good that came out of this? So much. But as crazy busy women, we tend to only think about the struggle, the things we have yet to achieve, the things that didn't go our way, the things we wish we were better at, the things we struggle with. We tend to focus on the negative. We're so hard on ourselves. And when you go through this process of the last year on the left column, and then the new year, claiming a life and not just letting it happen to you, those are the fundamentals of what I teach. I mean, it's a lot more complicated, and honestly, we go a lot deeper, but the fundamentals of what we teach in our 10-week program is to get out of your own way and start honoring yourself and owning yourself, good, bad, and indifferent. Stop pleasing out of everybody and please yourself and live in your power. And I'm telling you, it's about gratitude. It's about tools. It's about awareness. It's about intention, and it's about action. And it's about joy. Not living in conditional joy, bringing joy into your life every single day and having wins every single day. We don't celebrate our wins. We want them to be big wins, like closing a deal or getting a new job or, I don't know, finishing a project, instead of all the little wins along the way. And what happened to me at the end of the year is I started focusing on the little wins. And they built up to this amazing list of wins where I couldn't help but be proud of myself. And it got me right out of my thing. And guess what? It also gave me the permission to relax the rest of my time off and just like, yeah, I'm not going to get all of Christmas down. I'm just going to watch Emily in Paris all day because I can. I'm off. And this is what I want to do. So I want you to start your year off strong. I pray to God this actually went live on Facebook, and you got all of this because this is important. And this is a longer Facebook Live. My Facebook Lives are usually like 20, 25 minutes. But I wanted to walk you through this process. I want you to understand how to do this, and I want you to take the time to do it. Don't tell me you're too busy. Let this be the first time this year that you honor yourself to do this work. I've made it really short. I'm telling you, there's 6-week courses on this stuff. I've taken them. I'm making it really short. I want a shortcut. I don't want to waste time. I'm very pragmatic. That's the same thing as our 10-week program. Like, we're going to rip off that bandage and we're going to start moving because I don't have time to waste. Okay. So I want you to do this work. I want you to marinate on it. I want you to reflect on it. And I want you to claim some words you're going to leave behind and claim some words you're going to walk into and claim for this new year. I'm going to share mine. I will hope you share yours. I hope you comment in this section about how you found this. This will be here for you. I will post in the comment section, I will download the file. Okay. You have this now. There's no excuse not to do it. It's the beginning of the year. Anything is possible. I believe anything's possible all through the year, but let's just go with the double down. If it's January, anything is possible. Your life can be different. Great things are waiting for you. I know it, but they don't happen unless you take action. And most importantly, they don't happen unless you start doing things differently. And I am here to challenge your ass and make you do things differently so that you get out of your own way and find joyful success. Because every single crazy busy woman I know has an amazing life that they've built. It's just exhausting to them or costing them too much. I have a new client that actually said to me, she's got the world by the ass, but it's just exhausting. So she's got everything she wants, but she just can't enjoy it. And we're working on that because she's going to. So I know your lives, like you're trapped in a pretty good life, is the story of all of my clients. And so the way to get out of that is to start putting you at the center and making time to do this. Do this exercise, start the year off strong, and make this happen for yourself. Because I guarantee just come every week, and we're going to do a Facebook Live every Wednesday. And we're going to deep dive on each of these, but don't wait. Do it now. Just even if it's a draft, guess what? You can change it. You can change it. But your first draft is usually your most honest. And don't question what comes out of you. Just write it down. There is no wrong answer here. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, just write it down. It might be a seed for something later. Okay? That is it. Please do the work. Please do the work. I hope you listen to this. If you're listening to it in replay, I hope you find it valuable. If you're somehow seeing this and you're not part of Crazy Busy Women in Balance in Facebook, our private Facebook group where we're doing this exercise all month, join. And if you want to learn more about how you can work with us, do the 10-week program. If this sounds fascinating to you and you want more of it, learn about all the things that we're offering. Okay, go to crazybusywomen.com on our website. We have all the ways you can work with us. Book a call, direct message me. I am here to serve. This is my life's purpose. I have the answers. I've done it for myself. And I'm sitting here and my life is just extraordinary and filled with possibilities. And I created all of those because I got out of my own way and I got out of overwhelm and exhaustion and burnout. And then all of a sudden, everything was available to me. So I want to do that for you. So please let me help you. It starts by doing this or booking a call and talking to us. But it starts by doing this exercise and starting 2022 off strong. Bye. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.